Live, CRG Realty, in the Arctic airs of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, with a bombing 17 degrees. Stay tuned. We got a great show, and we are keeping warm. Bye.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Great.
Welcome to the show, CRG Live. It's Tuesday morning at 8:15. We're getting later and later. I think it was 8:13 last weekend, but that's okay.
Hey, it was freezing this morning. I mean, when it's like, 4 degrees outside?
Yeah, it was cold.
9? Oh, it's 9.
Yeah, I didn't want to wake up out of bed. I was nice and warm and toasty.
And school's out. So when school's out, I am really off my game.
Yeah, it's a bit different. And then trash is not running, and it's just weird.
I know. When I got to get up before 10, it is weird.
I was trying to point to Nathan when I drove in. One of my windshield wiper blades was sitting off the windshield. It won't go down because there's a block of ice that can't get away from it.
Yeah.
It was interesting watching the water thaw at the lights, and then as you drove, refreeze on the window.
Right. Well, I'm Nathan Cavanagh, owner property manager here at CRG, and your host with the mostest here on CRG Live. And I'm going to introduce our panel as always. Each and every week, we have Teresa Flora, my wife, beautiful wife Holly, and principal broker. And school's out again. And of course, Kyle Parton with OVM Mortgages, the best loan officer in my world. Welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
So how's everybody holding up in this weather?
Water froze. Heat stayed on, electric stayed on, but the water froze.
No water?
No water in the rental property, and we had cold water, but no hot water. So the water line going to the hot water, the tankless water heater, it froze.
Oh, okay.
And so it dripped and dripped and dripped, and finally we got it thawed out. But the rental property still doesn't have anything.
Is the heat on out there?
Oh yeah.
Microphone.
80 degrees.
And it's still
Microphone.
And it's still not. Sorry.
It's blustery, cold.
Yeah, I have unfortunately I have about 3-4 rental properties that have lost water. I've done what I can before the storms, warning everybody, telling them what they need to do, prepping them for it. And if you don't drip them faucets,
Yep.
You're going to lose water when it gets this cold.
I woke up this morning and went to the bathroom, and then it hit me all of a sudden. We forgot to drip our faucets last night, and I thought, oh no, I'm not going to be able to get a shower.
Yeah, no, we
but we had water.
Luckily, we did not freeze. So
we did not.
Our house, fortunately, blessed, is temperature's just fine. For me, it's a little cold for the girls.
It's a little chilly in there. It was 66
Do you not
this
have
morning.
heat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have heat, but we're running. We're giving the utility company a lot of money.
Our
Because
HVAC's on its last legs, so we have to run it on emergency heat.
Oh,
yeah,
cha-ching,
cha-ching for sure.
Oh, there's no kidding
Cha-ching
on that.
for sure. But yeah, no, we got a little space heater in the living room area too, so that doesn't help either. So
No, that's ours is going to be tremendous because we've got
even with the gas.
Yes, because I've got that little electric fireplace thing going. That's how I had to thaw out the water lines. So I just kept it going, and that is expensive.
Oh yeah.
So between the hot tub, which you can't get in because it's too cold outside.
Why can't you get in? That's the perfect time to go to a hot tub.
Not when it's 9 degrees.
No, yeah.
No. You freeze your little.
I would agree with Nathan.
Teresa Lynn Flora.
You have a heated
You
towel
have
warmer.
a heated towel warmer and
I
a
know.
heated robe warmer,
I know.
and you got a hot tub, and you're not using it in this weather. This is the best time, in my opinion. But
Mine too.
that's just me.
I get in it when it's in the 30s, but when it gets below 30s, no. This 2C ain't gonna be naked outside below 30. No.
Just make a mad dash to the house.
Yeah, have your robe ready and just go.
You gonna visit me in the hospital when I have pneumonia?
Well, yeah, I'll visit.
Okay. No, it's too. Well, in fact, it had probably 2.5 inches of ice on top of the lid of the hot tub.
Yeah.
Even with the hot tub being 104 degrees, it still had.
Well, those are thermolated whatever lids, to keep the heat in.
I didn't want a chance breaking anything on it.
Yeah.
So no, No hot tub.
Man, that would be great in the
Today-
7-degree weather with the steam rolling off the hot tub. You're in the hot tub, then you stand up, you get a little cold, then you sit back down. Oh,
Now today it's supposed to get up into the 30s,
is it?
mid 30s. So I'll be in it this afternoon when it hits the mid 30s. So
Well, good.
I guess we'll let the chickens out this afternoon.
I was thinking about that this morning. Yeah,
I didn't want to let them out just yet. Is it supposed to get really cold though tonight again?
probably.
yes,
We'll just shove them back in.
I thought you said your kids were brave.
chickens.
Chickens.
They're brave chickens.
Send the chickens outside.
Yeah, Bella has no desire to go outside.
None.
When I was a
Yeah.
kid that age, unless there's a massive amount of snow, no, keep me
Yeah,
inside.
that was, well, not me. My brother was that way. My brother was outside when we had the blizzard back in the 70s, I think it was. He had his coveralls, his Carhartt coveralls on, the tan ones, and all bundled up, and he was outside the whole time of the blizzard. And just climbing trees and sitting up in the tree and watching the snow fly, and he was crazy like that. But
Well, when I was a kid,
not me. I'm inside looking out.
up in Ohio, when we were going sledding and playing outside, yeah, it was fun. But I'm such a hot-blooded person, I guess, that Mom would always bundle me up like super. Like we would
Like
take.
bubble wrap.
Kinda, but then we would take. I remember wearing Ziploc bags on our hands, and then you
Feet.
put the glove on, and then so your hands don't get wet. That was the theory behind it, and it worked. But then you get out there and you start playing and running around. I get so darn hot, and then you start peeling off layers, and then you get so darn cold, and then I'm like, nope, I have no desire to do that anymore.
Yeah, they have better clothes now.
Yeah, they do.
Now, I will say I would go out. I was watching the Book of Faces, and I had no idea. Like, I thought sledding, like everything that I've always imagined, was just you walk up the hill, you have your little side, and you slide down. Little thing. No, this was like a legit ski park. Had a hanger, came on the front,
Oh yeah.
pulled them up to the top.
Well,
has
inner
a-
tubes.
has a steering wheel and everything.
Oh,
They're-
I've seen that.
They're zigzagging
Yes.
and weaving down this area, and I mean they're hauling.
That's amazing.
But I said that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I seen
Outside for that.
I seen the one behind we're sledding behind pony horses.
Yeah.
That'd be
Cool.
fun. That'd be fun. Did you guys see the video with the Amish?
I did.
Yeah.
The
Doing
Amish
donuts.
doing donuts in Summertown on Highway 43.
Yeah.
I thought that was so
That was
funny.
funny.
I wish I knew who it was, which Amish guy it was, but they were out there having fun in their horse and buggies.
All right. Well,
The horse would go, and then it just whipped that buggy around, and it looked
Like,
like
who
fun.
needs 4-wheel drive? We got this.
that's right. You got four
Well, they
leg.
had
You got
four-wheel
four-leg drive.
4-wheel drive.
Well, you got about 6 legs on those, or 6 wheels on that. But
4
but
legs and 4 wheels.
other than weather situation, how's everybody's weekend? Anything new, exciting? Anything other than staying in, staying warm?
Stayed in, stayed warm, and did absolutely nothing. I watched TV.
Yeah, it's kind of what we did, and I couldn't stand it. I've got this list. I decided, since I've semi-retired, and
She says that, but she's still working.
and I feel like I have no purpose anymore. So I made these lists. And so I got 4 lists that have quite a number of things, and those are all the things that need to be done between now and the end of spring. And it's just so overwhelming, and my anxiety gets up because I'm sitting there in this chair watching the 20 millionth season of Yellowstone again, and because David's never seen it, and thinking, oh my God, I could be doing this. Oh my God, I could be doing that. I could be. But I did get Old Betty's cleaned. I've got to steam clean the carpet is the last thing to do as I steam clean myself out the door. Curtains, 1 panel's made, and I've got several more panels to go. So
Well, there you go. Well, just take that 4 lists, prioritize which list is most important,
I
and
don't
then
you-
turn
give
it
it to
into
David.
one list.
I
Yeah,
already-
then give it to David.
I already did that. It's even on the calendar of when it needs to be started and when it needs to be completed. It was a whole project.
Yeah.
So I've got all that done.
Well, he's starting to work part-time here, which
I know. He
his
was
first day
excited.
yesterday. I didn't talk to him afterwards.
By the way, that boy cleans up in his photo. I saw it. I saw it last week, and I was telling them when you were here. I was like, "Who is?"
And that wasn't an AI like anything really.
No, that's
no, that
David.
is him because he had just gotten his hair cut.
Right.
The only thing that was the AI was just the clothes in the background.
Right.
I bet he doesn't want to ride though now, having it shaved down.
Oh, well, it's back. No, his beard grows extremely fast. We could probably shave it all off, and in 2 weeks it'd be long.
Wow.
I mean, it grows that fast.
Yeah.
His toenails, his fingernails, and his beard is fastest growing thing I've ever seen.
Huh.
Grows faster than mine. Mine grows pretty fast, but his grows faster. I told him we were going to have a match to see who grows the longest, but then I thought, yeah, better not.
Well,
Then I could get a side gig as a bearded woman somewhere.
I always told
There you
Nathan
go.
I could grow a bigger beard than he probably could.
I just have the old lady hairs.
I don't have old lady
hairs
hairs.
used to be one hair on this side and one hair on this side. Now it's hairs more
Okay.
than one. So anyway, let's
well, I'm
move
just
on.
going to plead the fifth on that. I'm not going to say anything either way for nobody. I like my beard. I need a manicure a little bit, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, when I look back at pictures and stuff, when you decided you was going to let your beard grow out and
Yeah.
stuff, golly, I like it when it's trimmed up better. You do not do well with like big woolly beards.
Well, the problem is I didn't take care of it as it grown. I just let it go. And if you want a nice looking beard, you have to maintain it as it grows. It's not you just set it and forget it sort of thing. You gotta groom it. You gotta keep it trimmed at the same length of everything. So I'm kind of on that path now. I'm up to a 5/8 of an inch clipper. So each time I clip it, probably once a month, or one every month or two, I'll let it grow in nice. Then I trim it down with the clippers, and then I move up to the next level. Then trim it down, let it grow up a little bit. Then, and you keep progressing up in the clipper length.
You can get away with not having to groom though, as long as you carry an axe with you all the time.
Fair, yeah,
Then everybody's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good beard."
tracks.
Good
Tracks. So yeah. So topic of the day. Well, anything else to report about the weekend from anybody?
No, slow.
I worked a lot actually. I worked on stuff that you don't get to work on that often with things.
I should have done that, and I thought about it, and that's as far as it went. I did make notes of stuff, but that's as far as I got.
Yeah. So we got one more day of basketball, which I'm excited for. Thursday is the championship games. Loretta's in both of them.
Do they still have it if school's canceled?
I bet we'll go back to school.
I'm
I don't
sure
think
they're
you will. I'm betting. I got $5 that say you don't go back this week.
I've seen a couple of side roads that had a decent amount of ice on it.
My
and
road's got ice.
I bet they would at least. It'd be questionable to getting to.
Anybody
Thursday
know
in
when
school,
when the I haven't been paying attention. Anybody know when this cold's supposed to warm up?
Never. Like I think we got another snow event sometime this weekend.
Well, if that's the case, then probably not.
Oh
Probably
my
not.
gosh, really?
I'm
All right,
almost positive.
Wednesday 40 degrees, Thursday 45, Friday 37. But in the evening or nights, tonight will be 20 degrees. Wednesday night 21 degrees, Thursday night 24, and a bombing 10 degrees on Friday night.
So they cut out the precipitation though.
Oh, I didn't.
It's only a 13% chance for Friday.
Just
I'll
give it a
take
little. A 13% chance isn't like a 13% chance. That means there's 13% of the viewing area is going to
That'll
get
get something.
precipitation.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll probably be much of anything. It's still
I don't know. I think
About
Summertown
freezing.
got hit with this ice storm. I think Summertown and
And that's where the tournament's going to be. So yeah, it's probably
it
gonna,
got hit hard.
Did it? Yeah,
because-
Summertown, Etheridge area. Yeah.
That's all the news came out and all of the property damage and trees on the road and all of that came from there. A friend of ours is up in Columbia and he lived on a hill and
Lived past
Lived.
tense. He's not up the hill no
no,
more.
no, he's in our rental property now. But he had to go. It was a sheet of ice from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. He had to go the long way around to avoid the hill.
Yeah, my wife was
That was just yesterday afternoon.
obsessed with the storm because of how much they had projected
Yeah.
wide outages and all that. We rode the line for a long time where when it first started, Florence was kind of the cutoff where it went from wintry mix to rain,
Mm-hmm.
and it just slowly got up above Lawrenceburg for the majority of it. But everything north,
Etheridge,
got a pretty good bit
Summertown,
amount.
North, they got
When I
hammered.
talked to Denton Monday, so Denton Peebles is with Farm Bureau. He's our insurance agent
Out of Wayne County.
out of Wayne County. Love him. I love him to death. I was on Rotary Club with him. Anyway, I talked to Denton Monday, and he said that Wayne County, Hardin County, and Lewis County were hit extremely hard, and they have a lot of claims and stuff coming in. They were without power. I think when I spoke to him, they were still without power for days at that point.
Well,
And
I know our family up in Ohio so far they've got 16 inches of snow.
yeah, I seen
I'm
Matt's.
so jealous. I saw Matt's post,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm jealous.
What a tough profession.
What's up?
You see snow on the way, this, that, and the other. You're an insurance agent. You're like, oh, work's about to
Yeah. Yep.
True.
Yep.
True.
But you only have that for a couple weeks down here, so
Did you
have it
guys
for.
hear of snow, thunder? What was that? Snow blast, snow?
I heard something, and some people in Loretta were reporting
Yeah.
that they heard some like big thundering or a clap of thunder.
But it was has to do with
It's
shoot,
underneath
I
the
don't
ground.
Remember what it's called? It's called
It's
snow thunder. It's
Oh no, I thought it was.
It has to do with the
Temperature?
frozen underneath ground breaking loose, isn't it? Is that what you're talking about?
no, it's actually I think the temperature outside and the something about the atmosphere created the boom.
Yeah, so there you can get electrical events during storms. That's one of the storm chaser guys on the new Weather Channel. That's his favorite thing to go do when there's big blizzards and whatnot is be live doing that as a thunder event happens during it.
Nice.
But some of the other ones that they were talking about were massive trees that were soaked, the sap and the ice expand, and the trees are actually like what looks like exploding, but you take a massive tree and have the base of it just give out. The hit on the ground also is going to be very thunderous to the local population and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of these trees; they were massive going down.
Yeah.
Matthew Huntley was saying on Facebook about only in Tennessee can you hear thunder during a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So or something like that on his post. So anyway, I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it. I think I was here when it supposedly happened in Lawrenceburg, and then Holly was home and she didn't.
I didn't hear it
Yeah,
either.
because that was on Sunday,
I don't know.
Saturday or Sunday, and then me and Bella ran up here to Lawrenceburg to go to Walmart because she needed hair stuff. So during an ice.
Well,
storm,
you
we
came to
went-
the office to
Yeah,
get
I
the
did.
GoPro.
I needed to come to the office, get the GoPro so I can learn how to use it so I could get David up and go on with the inspections, which I'm glad I did because if you buy a new GoPro, there is so much updating and firmware stuff and all sorts of stuff. So I'm glad I did that the night before.
Yeah, it took him hours.
But I was also,
Playing.
not really playing, but watching a lot of YouTubes on what you can and can't do with it. I picked up one of those new Hero 13 Blacks or whatever. Super excited.
13 already.
Yeah, it's nice.
I remember when I got the 4 brand new and was like, this is the greatest thing ever for cameras. And they're already they're about to surpass the iPhone.
Right. Yeah, they're 13. And it's I'm excited for it. I got some other accessories coming today for it actually. So, I'm excited for that.
The nerdy geeky guy that you are.
Yeah. Cause then, speaking of which, please go ahead and follow us for some daily content that I'll be doing, focusing and giving some insight into the property management world and why it exists and what it does and what should you expect from a property management company, what should you expect as it from an owner or a tenant. So follow this channel and you can watch the daily uploads. I'm trying to keep it at about a minute just for a quick video, nothing to take up too much time, just to get some information out there. There's not a lot out there on there. So I thought
On
I
that
would
subject.
on that subject. So I thought I would throw that out there. So give us a follow and
Especially
Stay tuned.
rules that apply to counties that are 70,000 member counties or less. Because our rules are different than, let's say, a Nashville or a big Murfreesboro, any of those bigger cities. Anything that has a population of 70,000 and higher has a different set of rules than a population 70 and under. So, and that's interesting because people always think that, well, I got 30 days to get out. No, you don't. Not in Lawrence County. You do not. So,
Well,
those-
but that's a whole. It's the reason behind it and why you're going to get out and all that. Yeah, there is some different rules, but honestly, most of them are the same. And as far as Tennessee goes, other states are different. Tennessee follows a lot of the national guidelines for that kind of stuff. So, state and locals are different. So, on that note, follow us for more content. So the topic of the day is how a buyer's agent earns their paycheck, and we'll turn it over to the buyer agents and see what's going on. And
Somebody
you
has
want to
numbers.
do numbers first?
get that over with.
You don't even like doing them.
I don't mind. I just like to get it over with. And then my brain can quit thinking about it, and then I can think about our topic.
Okay. Well, here's the numbers.
All right. The numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. And these numbers are from January 11th through the 24th because I wasn't here last week. Active listings right now, we have 182 listings with an average list price of $401,736. $401,736. So far, day on the market is 123 days. So market's kind of slow right now. Coming soon, we have 4 coming soon with an average list price of $407,225, which is about 153 a square on average. Under contract showing, that means where a seller is still willing to have backup showings and maybe accept backup offers. And we have 8 of those with an average list price of $297,225, makes it 177 a square. And right now, from the time they listed it till it went under contract, was about 79 days. Under contract not showing, that means we've got some happy buyers, happy sellers, and we're headed to close. We have 6 of those with an average list price of $236,217, about 186 a square. From the time it was listed till it went in, or the sign went in the ground till it went under contract, was about 84 days. We had 7 expired and 4 canceled. And for that duration of time, we had 9 closings with an average sold price. Big difference between list price and sold price, y'all. $236,250 with 189 average square price per square. Sellers are getting 89.4% of the list price. And that is the list price when it went under contract. So, anyway.
Wait, what did you say that percentage was?
98.
Oh,
Oh.
98. I
I
thought
thought
you
you
said
said
89.
I bet I did.
That's why I was shocked.
98.4%. Sorry. From the time they put sign in the ground until it went to close was 80 days. From the time it went to, let me do that again. From the time it went, put the sign in the yard till it went under contract, took 80 days. From the time it went under contract to close, took additional 34 days. Right now, I cheated. I went to RealTrax and looked at current inventory, and it's because I forgot my formula and I can't find my cheat sheet. So we have currently, and they're giving us December's inventory numbers, and I don't think we did much business to change these a whole lot. But we have 8.31 months of inventory for December 2025. Get this, in December of 24, we had 6.02. So, and we also had a list price drop during that same period. So, 24 was a lower amount of supply than 25. And then average sold price. I went ahead and looked at average sold prices because I thought that was cool for that comparison. The average sold price in 2024 in December was $341,800. The average sold price in December 25 was $263,378. So we're staying longer on the market, longer inventory, and a lower price in 25 versus 24. So I'm curious to see what we're going to do as far as the rest of 26. Then interest rates. Everybody's always interested in interest rates. Are they going up? Are they coming down? Or what are they doing? Well, we really don't know. Kyle may know. But I get my information from Mortgage News Daily. And right now, a 30-year fixed is 6.17%, a 30-year FHA, 5.82%, a 30-year VA, 5.84%, and a 30-year USDA, 5.65%. And those, of course, are depending on you, what you look like on paper financially, and there's a lot of factors into it. So that's just kind of a base rate. And those, folks, are your numbers, because numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. Yay! We need the firework.
So we have a little over 8 months worth of inventory. I figured that seemed about right.
Yep.
And that explains the expireds. We have a little bit more expireds. We have a little bit more canceled. All of that all seems to track correctly.
In the last 2 weeks, from January 11th to January 24th, we had 11 cancel expireds.
Yep, that's tracking. Well, I mean, that makes sense too. I mean, because people, when they took their contracts and stuff, a lot of people do a 6-month contract. People are still pricing too high, and we have a lot more competition. Stuff's just not moving as fast as it used to.
No, and prices, like you said, are some prices are high. If you got it priced right and you look great, you're gonna sell as soon as people can get out and see it.
Right.
Right. I don't know, rental market. I'm still rocking and rolling. I probably had 8 appointments yesterday, but to be fair, it was over the weekend. I was working a lot over the weekend. Everybody's sitting there thumbing through their phone, looking at stuff. So then I've opened up my tenant stream into the Facebook world, and actually it's been very successful lately, very successful. And so I've been chit-chatting with a whole bunch of people on Facebook and Zillow and all that. So I had probably about eight appointments set for yesterday, and then I got 6 more appointments set for today. I have to write 3 leases. Well, 4. I have to write 4 leases because I need to write your lease for your property. So rental market's still rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got to show one house today as soon as we leave from here.
Speaking of that, if you need any rental properties, I do have a few available, and I have 2. One's probably gone, but the other one's still available in Etheridge. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and you don't get that too often in rentals, and I have 2 of those right now. I got one in Etheridge and then one right here in the middle of Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg is probably gone. I do have an application on it, and everything looks good so far. So, barring any reference shenanigans today, she should be approved. But that still leaves the other 3-bedroom, 2-bath property in Etheridge. Beautiful piece of property for a rental.
Is it in Etheridge or
It's
out?
in Etheridge. Right there at the park where the ice machine used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Over on Lincoln Street.
Yeah.
That's a good
It's right
location.
across.
I think that's your favorite location when you get to meet government officials.
Yeah, I've been pulled over in that parking lot 3 times. 3 times.
Three times.
3 times.
And he's only gotten a ticket once.
And then I went to court and they dropped it anyway. So it is what it is. But yeah,
They like him there.
That area I'm familiar with because I get to sit there on the side of the road and talk to some really great police officers. So
I was with him once, and I'm like, really? Why?
Yeah. Well, and you know, Etheridge in the Summertown area, they have a high population of the Amish, and they're always out running around. And then at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that's actually a really high volume of Amish on the road because they're heading home at that time too. And so they're very strict on the which should be.
Right.
It's very dangerous. You know, if you're speeding through that area, don't. Not just because of a ticket. Yeah, tickets suck, but you know, we got to think of our
Safety.
community.
Safety.
Absolutely, we got to
Yeah.
think of our community. And a vehicle hits a buggy, the buggy will lose every time. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, so do have other. If the 3-bedroom 2 baths aren't your thing, I do have a 3-bedroom 1 bath as well, and then a couple 2-2s or 2-1s. Excuse me, not 2-2s. So
Cool.
2.
2-2.
Toot toot.
So topic of the day,
That's what David says when he leaves. Toodles.
Toodles. What do we? Wasn't that
It's
like?
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse says Toodles, so I don't know.
Well,
Mickey
we're-
Mouse Clubhouse says Toodles.
Weren't we
Oh,
on
yeah.
a cruise and one of the cruise director wasn't that his thing
Oh,
to sign
that's
off?
right.
Toodles.
That was his.
Just
Very
imagine a
flamboyant.
6'11" guy, well, 10,
Carnival?
11 with these boots saying Toodles.
I think I know exactly who it is. I think we had him last time.
He's great.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
so
always-
good.
Yeah.
Always getting everybody hyped up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was really good. And so you're 6'10" man.
Toodles.
Says Toodles. That is a biker guy.
Did you guys see his picture I did on
On
Facebook
with the pig.
with the hog?
Yeah.
Okay, so for some reason, because I saw it and I guess I watched it after that, now I'm getting all
know,
this
all the
stuff
hog
with
pictures,
these hogs.
yes.
And so that's why I actually tagged him in one. It's like, David,
I
is
know,
this
it's like-
you?
We talking about like a motorcycle? or
An
a real
actual
hog?
pig.
It was a
hog.
pig that's got the
It's
motorcycle
animated.
handles
And it's got the ape hangers on it.
and running down the
and
highway and snow.
saddlebags and leather jacket and all that. And I got his face on there. And he's riding down the well, he's not because I don't know how to do that yet. It's a still picture. And
Yeah. So I
they're riding the hog.
kind of weird, but I had a dream about David the other night, and we were just riding bikes. He was like we were just riding together.
You and him?
Yeah, me and him were riding bikes, and so he put me on this bike, and in my dream I couldn't reach the 8 handles. I couldn't reach the handles. He's like, "This one's not going to work for you." So, and then that's all I remember.
We had an instance actually with a hog since our last show. You know how every Monday we do Civil Air Patrol, Andrew. We're driving up to Hurricane Creek Road, the one that comes from the other side of 43 and goes all the way up to
Yeah.
the mountain. And there's this massive thing in the front yard. And we're coming up to it. We got the brights on because it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, what is this white thing? She goes, is that a bear? I'm like, I don't know. Driving up to it. It was the biggest hog I've ever seen in my entire life, just roaming the streets.
It was probably a sow.
She was like, hey, we should just put it in the trunk. We have all the bacon in the world. I was like, I think it would break our axles. This thing must have been easily 1,000 pounds.
Oh, some of them
It
are
was-
big.
I didn't know hogs got like this large.
Yeah, yeah. The sows that have
Boar
litters.
hogs.
That
Aren't they boar hog? Not hog. Boar.
the only sow that I've seen up close was a Yorkshire at Hartman's Feed in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah.
And she was massive, and she would have
Big as that filing
16,
cabinet.
16, 17 piglets a litter. That's a lot.
Oh my God.
She was massive. So I don't know.
They liked her 'cause she did have a lot of babies.
Yeah. Yeah. So switching gears, topic of the day. How and why buyer agents earn their paycheck. So take it, buyers agents.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of running and a lot of driving. I do. And but the biggest thing, I guess, is I want to have a conversation with you about what you're looking for. And then the main topic first, though, is can you get financing? Before we start doing all this running around, looking at all these houses, spending your time, we need to see where you qualify at. That's really kind of the first thing that I think we do. And then after that, we start looking and breaking it down of what you're looking for. Yes.
They can see you, by the way. Just because they can't hear you, they can see you.
I can see you.
Well, we forgot to go to Kyle. We'll have to catch Kyle after the topic.
Yeah.
Sorry. My brain scattered.
It's frozen this morning.
It is. No, right at the moment it's pretty hot. But I can't take my hat off because, ooh.
Take it off. That's weird telling that to another.
Just a little
Just
weird.
keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep it up. Just keep it up. Don't take it off. Yeah, my balls. We have systems and stuff in place to help you find a house that will automatically send out homes that would fit what you're looking for, and you'll receive emails a lot of times of what you're looking for, and to see if it fits your criteria. Then we'll spend time, and I've spent days upon days of looking at houses. I've spent almost a year looking at houses with a couple until they found what they were looking for. So we go as fast as you want or as slow as you want.
Can I jump in on that part with the getting pre-approved? I think that is not just selfishly because I'm involved in the pre-approval process, but to help out the negotiation, knowing what you're qualified for, whether it be down payment assistance, closing cost assistance, or none of the above, really helps the agent understand what type of offer that you have to structure in order to financially be able to get into the home.
Or the home.
To
What
then
type of home?
identify the home options as well. If you're needing, based on your situation, 3-4% seller concessions to help you close out the deal, you may have a much tougher time at a brand new property that just hit the market, but one that maybe was overpriced and sat for a little bit, where now they're being a little antsy on selecting an offer. May be a good opportunity to strike there with your needs and get a yes. So knowing what that structure looks like really helps out the agent advise these are the opportunities and these are the options that we can go for.
And that's what we do in the beginning. We're going to help you understand that process because, the theory is all buyer's agent does is open the door. And there is so much more behind the scene. Yes, we do open the door, but the before and
At least we
after
try
that,
sometimes.
I'm sorry?
At least we try sometimes.
With that or use our driver's license. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
So in the very beginning, we have, like Holly was saying, we have conversations
There's
about
a heavens and the earth. Sorry, go ahead.
not that beginning. That we're going to have conversations with you on lifestyles, wants and needs, and number of dogs, number of cats, number of kids. We're going to get nitty gritty. And it's not because we're nosy. It's because that's how we build the story. And the story is the properties that are going to be suited for your needs and wants. Once we decide what your needs and wants are, then we're going to have another conversation that says, here, we need you to talk to a lender because it is very important before we even go look at houses. And I know you're itching. I know you want to go see. Well, I want to see it to see if I even interested. That's not how the game is played, because if you're interested and it's priced right, great condition, you're not the only one that's going to want that property. So you need to have that upper hand. And so that next step after we have the conversation of needs and wants, it's to get with Kyle or a lender of your choice and get pre-approved. Now, one thing that you need to remember, there's two ways of doing that. There's a pre-approval, but then there's an approval. And an approval, like Kyle does, they actually go through your statements and your verify income, verify employment, verify credit scores. They do all of that. And you are, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but you are approved, not pre-approved.
You've already gone through underwriting. Is that correct?
So there's a three levels for on the lending side. There's the pre-approval, which is lender has looked at your docs and just written a letter that says that you're approved for or pre-approved for a certain amount. There's a lot of disclaimers on there. It's really not worth the paper that
It's a lot of
written on.
ifs on that.
A lot of ifs. There's a smaller form that I don't even remember the name of because I won't even do that, and that's just you telling me what it is, and then I write
Statement.
a letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then the real way to give a seller what they're looking for is to have the commitment letter from underwriting because you were pre-approved. So prime example, I have a VA borrower out in Virginia. She wasn't able to see anything through the storm, so she didn't find anything to write an offer on. In 48 hours after I got all of her docs, she now has not only my pre-approval letter, but a commitment letter from underwriting stating we've looked at all of your assets, liabilities, credit profile, and everything. You are good for this price amount. That is a huge thing for a seller to take in consideration whenever they're looking at multiple offers, because not a lot of people do that.
Because then all your contingencies is the appraisal and the inspection.
Inspection.
That's it. The buyer contingency in that scenario is gone. So, Mr. Seller, that's 100% buyer right there, ready to go. And so that is one thing that I really encourage people to do is to get that commitment letter.
Well, let me ask you this, though. In doing so, you hear this a lot where when you're I'm assuming you hear this a lot as buyer agents, that you start talking about the finance thing and people will start getting a little hesitant about it. And then you hear, well, I don't want to hit my credit until I find something that I really like. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
You can do a soft
Objection.
pull.
You can do a soft pull, but you're not going to get solid answers,
Right.
and you won't get a commitment because you can't. We're lucky enough that we're partnered with Fannie Mae to be able to do a tri-merge soft pull and then be able to run AUS against it. But all Govy loans, VA, FHA, USDA, will not run their automated underwriting system based on a soft pull. And so you will have a questionable understanding if you're okay, if you are super solid. But if you're riding the line of a max debt to income ratio or a lower credit score, we cannot be certain that your file is going to be pre-approved.
Mm-hmm.
So how long does a somebody that gets a commitment letter, how long is that good for?
Our commitment letters are generally good for 90 days because we pulled your credit, and we can close a file with a credit pull that's within 120 days of that pull. So that's why we kind of close it off at 90 days is because generally it'll take you about 30 days to close on a loan. So if you have not gotten under contract by day 90, then it would just be a repull. A lot of people think that your credit is harmed so bad when you do a credit pull, and that's not necessarily the case. It's
That's
all
what I
based
wanted
on
to
your
hear.
credit file. You got to look at it from the standpoint of the credit companies. Back in the day, people didn't know how many loans you were going for. And so this is like a hold like you do at a hotel. You always have a $200 hold on a credit card or something like that due to incidentals and damages. The same thing with your credit. When you pull it, now we have a hold on your credit. There's something that's holding some of your score so that we know you had a credit pull. That way you can't go to 5 different states and 5 different counties and get approved for $500,000 homes when you could only afford one.
Mm-hmm.
And so because the process takes so long from a credit pull, let's say you do your application, you're pre-approved, you go out in the community for 2 or 3 weeks, you finally find your home, you ratify, you're another 30 days from closing, you skip the first month's payment, and then the following month is your first payment to finally post on credit. You're talking about a 4-month situation for everybody to know that when you did that credit pull, did you ever actually achieve credit?
Right. So I guess the fear factor, people need to understand that they have 90 days from the time you get that commitment letter, then you have 90 days to find a house. So if you don't find a house in 90 days, you're not sincere,
Not a serious buyer.
about buying.
Right.
You're a looky-loo tire kicker, and which is fine. Do that online and do drive-bys and see if you like the location, see if all those kind of boxes are checked, and then call us and let us know, and we can start that process of viewing the property and that kind of stuff. But it's really important to get that commitment letter up front. not only that, we also know about condition of the house. If a lot of people shop homes according to price point. So if you are shopping price points and you're getting an FHA, USDA, rural development, or a VA, that house has to meet certain standards before that bank will even loan money on that house. Because you got to remember, the lending company, the person giving you the money, is making a risk to say, okay, that house has got to, if you foreclose, Mr. Buyer, if you don't pay your payments and I have to take that house back, I need to make sure I get my money back. So it needs to be in good repair. It needs to be in certain standards, or I'm not loaning the money on it. So there are check boxes that we as agents have to think about when you're out there looking at houses, and the roof is 35 years old, or it's mission drywall, or
Chippy pilly paint.
Chippy pilly, that's a big one.
Ceilings are low.
Crawl spaces are low. We need a minimum of crawl space. If it's a mobile home, it has to be on some type of a foundation. It has to be a certain age. All those things are taking into consideration. And that's what we do. We kind of know those things. We have somebody in our back pocket that we call and say, hey, and so that's all part of that beginning. And that's all part of, we're supposed to be talking about what buyer's agents do. And that's what we do. We try to find out what you qualify for, what type of loan you're going to get, what type of assistance do you need. Closing costs right now are expensive. So if you're getting an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down, that's 3.5% of your mortgage price. And then you need to have 4.5% towards closing costs. That's a whole bunch of monies right from the get-go. Especially first-time home buyers typically don't have that kind of money. And that's okay. I mean, people just don't have savings anymore. And so where do you think that money is going to come from? Because we don't have those second mortgages anymore like we used to. So you either have to come up with it out of your pocket, or we're going to have to ask the seller. So then that comes to negotiation.
All right.
So
Take a breath.
Hey,
She
sorry.
getting passionate.
I've been doing this for 23 years. I just.
While I heard everything that
Go.
she was saying, and she had some more to say, don't
course I
feel don't feel overwhelmed by it though.
Right.
When you pick
That's
the
what we're
right
for.
when you pick the right agent and lender team, the heavy lifting is done by those professionals. That's why we get a paycheck for what we do. That's why there's not a lot of people who can do it successfully, is because it does take a lot of work, but that's not a fear of yours. Your experience, you should be focusing just on the move.
Right.
We are here to help advise you on all the other things that we had to get licenses for.
And we have a lot of vendors in our back pocket that we know that can help with, we know home inspectors, we know appraisers, we know roofers, plumbers. We have a variety of people that can help make this process go easily too, to make sure the house is good and solid.
I think looking at it as a buyer, I just met you. I called on Zillow and I want to see this house. But now you want to ask me all these personal questions. You want me to call and give somebody else all my personal information. And all I want to do is see this daggone house. Well, that's when we need to build that trust level. We need for you to trust us in doing our job. Do all of the agents and all realtors do their job like they're supposed to do?
I'll say
No.
no.
So you and we could help you with that. You need to have questions to ask the agent. How long you been in the business? Are you full-time? Are you part-time? How many properties did you actually go to close with? There's just a series of questions that you can ask to help you build your trust level. I want you to trust me. I'm not just blowing smoke. I don't want your personal information, but I need it to be able to help you. And that's what we do. And so not only the first step is to get pre-approved, but I think the first step is to build trust. You need to trust us. We need to trust you that you're going to follow through as well, because we do a lot of behind the scenes work to help your dreams come true. And so, however that needs to happen with building that trust, that's what we need to do first. So,
And
this is,
and also, like for instance, a Zillow call comes in. If you are one of those people that you're just looking and you just want to look, just be honest about that.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a serious buyer, that's okay. We want to be there for you and we'd be happy to show you, but don't have us drop what we're doing to set an appointment to run out to do this right now if you're not a serious buyer. If you're not, that's okay. That is completely okay. We still want to talk to you, but we might need to schedule it when it fits into the schedule a little better, not dropping everything to run out to a house that takes us 40 minutes to get there. Then we're there for half an hour. We talk, we have a conversation, look at the house, get a little more details. Then we leave, and then we never hear from you again. And because you weren't serious to begin with. And that's okay. Talk about it. Be honest. It's not going to hurt our feelings. We're not going to not show you the house. We just might need to schedule it a little different.
I agree with that. I think that's actually a very good thing for us, because we do have a lot of people that we do need to also help that are serious and they're looking for something. They're needing to make that move right then and there. And so sometimes it takes time away from other people who are ready at that moment.
and I think people need to understand, buyers need to understand that the person that shows you the house is something called procuring cause. The agent that shows you the house is the agent that will write the offer, is the agent that will take you to close, go through inspections, go through appraisals, do all that. All of that happens, then they take you to close. So if you have an agent and you can't get that agent on the phone and you call one of us to show you that house, you are no longer working with that other agent.
Well, yes and no. If there is documents signed,
We can't show the property then.
and at least Holly always asks,
Yeah.
are you working with another agent? And then some people understand what that means. Some people don't understand what that means. If you've signed a buyer's representative agreement for a certain amount of time, that is your agent
And agents
for that time period.
right. And a lot of times agents don't know how to explain that form.
Correct.
So they're going to sneak that form in and have you sign it where you don't understand what you're signing. We're going to walk you through what this form means.
You just snorted.
I know I did. Sorry. It's because, never mind. What this form means, how long is it good for, what happens when you go with another agent and write an offer and you close with that other agent. So what happens during that scenario? So all of those things, we take that form, we explain that form and what that means. So now we've built trust. Now we've dissected your needs and your dreams. Now we have a buyer's rep agreement that we have explained. And so now we're on the hunt to start finding homes that meet your needs. And we start viewing properties. That's when we're just opening doors. We find out, at least I do, with every particular property. I look at tax records. I look at flood areas. Is this property in a flood? I look at the age. I see what kind of documents that maybe the listing agent has on RealTrax. I request a property condition disclosure if it's not on there. So those are things that I accumulate for each property that we're going to see, because I want to paint the very best picture I can for that particular property so you have all the information. So then we do that for 5 or 6 properties that we go see that day or over the weekend or whatever. And then we got to that step. And then the next step is deciding whether or not you are interested.
Or we need to do another weekend of showings and see what's out there.
Anything that we see, I always tell my buyers when I'm with them, when we're seeing more than 4 houses in one day, it's hard to remember those houses. So after each property, it's like school. Grade that property A, B, and C. C means now we're done. We're going to toss it. B is kind of on the fence. A is, yeah, we would write an offer on this house. So that kind of helps keep us organized throughout that viewing process. So once we've got a property identified, then we're going to write an offer.
Why'd you just hit me?
Because you need to take over. I need to take a breath.
I just let you run with it.
She said so much that gets done before seeing a property, and I've seen so many times where people will be impatient with a family member or a friend who's a real estate agent that wasn't available for them when they were ready, but then other agents who are available to actually do this full time get called to open up the door, and they do all of this work. You would think that they would want to choose somebody who is actively here to help them in their timeline, in their need of buying a home, instead of
A friend or
wasting their time because they would rather work with a friend or family that's not going to be available for them in their timeline. It's so interesting in this industry because, like, if I went to a car shop and I need my tires fixed, but they weren't available Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm not waiting Saturday, Sunday, Monday for it. I'm going to go to a different tire shop, and that tire shop is going to get my business.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should really understand that real estate agents do a lot of work up front before the door is even open. I mean, you heard about all the steps that were looked at and gone through. That's a lot of work to put forth for somebody who may or may not be super serious or interested.
And that's with no guarantee of a paycheck.
Correct.
We do this job. This is our full-time job. This is how we make a living. This is how we pay our bills. And so there's a lot of work and steps that we put into place and do, and hours and miles and gas that
Conversations, lots and lots of conversations.
with no guarantee of a paycheck.
No. And, even to go all the way through and then something happens that somebody missed, even your finance can fall through. I mean, then we've done hours upon hours of work and then the deal fell through. We don't get paid for that.
So once we go under contract,
Yep.
so we're at that point. We've identified a house. Everybody's good. Kyle's got them a commitment letter for them. So then what happens? We write an offer.
You're like, what? You've been taking over so much. I'm just like, what?
No, what happens next?
Well, we're probably going to start doing, not probably, we're going to start doing home inspections and pest
Negotiation.
inspections.
Because you're writing an
I
offer.
thought you said, never mind.
You said we were under a contract.
I did, but then I changed it. I'm sorry. So sorry.
She was already ready for under contract. Let's go.
I forgot the whole purpose of this is to explain what we do. So the next step would be negotiating the offer that we just wrote. So now go from there.
Yeah. Okay. After
Sorry.
we get through negotiations, we go under contract. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, now just to elaborate on the negotiation parts of a real estate contract. This is another part that's big in our paycheck because we do this quite often, and it's part of our negotiation skills. And how you negotiate is very important during a real estate transaction. There is 163 different things that you can and should negotiate for in a real estate transaction contract. 163 different things that can be negotiated about. So think about, so when you're putting the offer in, we'll go over everything that makes sense for this property. Some things that don't make sense if there's a lot of land or not a lot of land, or not every 163 is going to pertain to every transaction, but there is 163 different things.
I mean, it can be anything. We're negotiating closing costs. We're
Timelines.
negotiating, yes, timelines, inspections. If there is leases on propane tanks, who's keeping the propane tank? How much fuel is left in that?
Or how
Road
much of the
maintenance.
fuel are going to put into it.
Yeah,
you
if
know.
there's maintenance, if there's
Road
easements.
maintenance. You live on a dirt road and there's two properties. We need to figure out who maintains that road. Does the county, does the city, does the individuals, does the guy at the end of the lane? Who maintains that road? Did you even think about even having to maintain, or do you want to live on a bunch of potholes?
What's with the road?
Because I just did that.
Oh, okay.
And so, and they never even thought about it. If it wasn't for me bringing that up as part of my helping my buyer,
Right.
then they would have never thought. And here they could have had to spend thousands of dollars on gravel and chert to keep that road maintained.
Yep.
So anyway, that was one. You are very good at making things work because I don't know how you do it, but you do. You've made some phenomenal things come together at the last minute after they fell apart.
Yeah.
So if you can think of one of those without names and all that, kind of describe that scenario.
I have one right now that we're trying to hold it together. I have a client right now who's we were under contract. We were supposed to have already closed with the lender they were with. Didn't disclose a lot of stuff, and they were going to have to bring a ton of money to closing. And he's like, I don't have that.
Who didn't explain? The lender.
The lender. It was a particular lender. I'm not
Just
going
a
to call
lender.
out.
No,
It was a
just a
bank.
lender.
Kyle, why'd you do that?
Was it Kyle?
Didn't come to me
Kyle's,
first.
Kyle's trying to help save us. And
No, I would just say it wasn't the buyer who didn't. It was disclose.
wasn't-
It was the lender.
it was the
that
lender
didn't
who did
disclose.
not disclose how much money they were going to have to bring to the table. And so here we were scrambling right at the end, and we're trying to get him flipped over to a regular loan. Well, part of his income doesn't, he actually is going to be getting Social Security come April, so he'll have extra income. So we are working with the listing agent, and the seller's willing to rent out the house to them for the next several months until April, until that extra income comes in. So, we are negotiating that part. Can we make this work? The sellers are willing to help us. I don't know. If it's meant to be, it'll be. That's just kind of one instance I'm dealing with right now. Sometimes we've had to go from one lender to a different lender. If one lender says no, we going all the way through. One lender said no, and then I am hustling to call other lenders and say, hey, think outside the box. We have this going on. Can you fix it? And a lot of times they can. Not all lenders are the same.
If you pick the right lender, they're always thinking outside of the box.
That is
True.
very, very true.
True.
That is very true. It's like, okay, what can we do to make this work? And we just start working with, if we've got another agent, that's one thing that helps the most. If we have a listing agent who will put in the extra work as well, and we're all in this together, and everybody's pitching in of different ideas. Can we do this? Can we do that? That is how we pull off these deals that should have fell through, and they don't.
Yeah.
Absolute magic.
And you're very good at that. You're very good at trying to get these deals saved. So
Yeah, she was just giving, for instance, sorry to jump in real quick, but just give a for instance for another one of those. I had property still available if you're looking for what do we list that for? 90,000 over there on Holly's Creek.
Yeah.
95, 96. Very nice
I
house.
think we're right at 90.
I mean, and sometimes doesn't always work no matter what you do, but we were under contract with a property that we have listed. Everything was going fine-ish. The listing agent or the buyer's agent really wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Well,
No.
but come to find out, and this is my fault, the property's on a flood zone. So the buyer's agent he was just like, no, we're out. We can't do it. They ran numbers, can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, Holly was like, well, what do they need to close? What can they get approved for? So then
That's going to still be within their budget, so they
Right.
can afford the insurance and
correct.
everything.
So I jumped back on the phone, was able to talk to
The lender.
the lender in the situation and said, hey, where does she need to be in order to keep buying this house? Lender's like, well, give me 24 hours. Let me run some numbers and we'll get back to you. The next day, got back to us. They need to be at this certain price. So then I took that price, went back to the owner of the property saying, hey, this is the situation we're in. Situation's changed a little bit. This is what we need to do. He accepted that offer, and we were still under contract. But that's another one of those, I didn't think about that, but That's not my forte. I don't buy and sell property. I rent properties. But without her input on, well, what does she need to close and blah, 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 that just opened up a whole nother avenue of a way to keep a deal together.
Right.
Well, sometimes you just have to think outside the box, I guess. And whenever stuff starts happening, it's my brain just starts going up. What can I do to make this go through? Is this really the house you really want? How hard do you want to fight for it? Because I will fight till the end for you.
All right. So now we have negotiated our offer, and the buyer and the seller have both agreed to the terms of the offer, and so now we're officially under contract.
You just sit back and wait for the date.
Yeah, yeah, that's what some agents.
So
like
you're going to
do.
get a list from me of dates, of timelines you have to stay in, when the earnest money is due, when inspections are due back, when we have how many days to decide on going back and forth with the listing agent of these repairs are going to be made. You're going to get a list of all these dates that have to stay in line, because if we go past those dates, we can be out of contract and you could possibly forfeit your earnest money that you put up if we don't stay in contract. And that's why I harp on people all the time. Hey, I need this answer. We have to know by this date. I can't keep waiting around, because now we're out of contract and you could potentially lose your earnest money that you put up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after we get through, for me, I like to go through inspections, through any inspections we need done. If the home inspection comes back and he's like, hey, I need a roofer to look at this roof, we're sending a roofer out immediately to look at it. As soon as that's done, while you're doing that, I need you to be talking to your homeowner's insurance. Who you going to go with? Find out, get quotes. You need to get that to your lender immediately. And then as soon as I get through inspections, I'm calling that lender saying, hey, we got to order appraisal. I need that done. We need that done immediately. So sometimes, and if we don't get those appraisers can be out a couple of weeks. Title companies can be out a couple of weeks. We have to start moving this stuff. We'll hit a spot where we have to hurry up and wait.
Right. Because you've got home inspection, possibly roof inspection, pool inspection,
Pest inspection,
engineer inspection. And those all take time. And, those are phone calls. Those are many phone calls to find somebody that we trust that can do that within the time frame that we need, or if you can't do that, then we got to do an extension. So that's more paperwork that we have to do. We have to not only figure out all these timelines, because we don't have a magic system that says, poof, here's your form you need, hand that to your buyer. No, we don't have that. So we
do. We got Deanna.
Okay, we have a great team behind us. Yes, because of that. I was going to say that.
So she just brought up a whole bunch of stuff with the inspections, and this is why following the process is so important, so that two people aren't running with the football at the same time and you feel overwhelmed. If you get pre-approved and you provide your docs up front, we should not need anything for an initial underwrite. So the process would be that you got pre-approved, you got under contract. At this point, I do not need your attention as a lender anymore. I am passing you back to your agents to pay attention to all of your inspections and all the other things that are associated with the property that you're wanting to do, rather than doing both, collecting documentations for your loan and paying attention to that. You will feel overwhelmed. That's why we break this up, so that we can pass the football off on who has your attention for your transaction to get the few things done that we need to get done, and you don't feel overwhelmed. It's when we don't follow that system and that pattern that this can feel a little clunky.
Well, yeah, because and these are have tos. In order to stay within this legal binding contract.
Just to give a little time update, we are
8:20.
Yeah, we're
okay.
Yeah.
Well, but we do a lot. We're buyer's agents and we do a lot. So okay, we'll wrap this up. Yeah. So anyway, if you don't get commitment letter right from the beginning, then you're spinning your wheels to get your lender stuff. You're spinning your wheels to get your agent stuff. You're spinning the wheels to get your insurance. There's just a lot of moving parts and pieces that happen. So eliminate the one. That's the lender.
It just causes more undue stress.
Well, not only that is if you get completely approved and ready to go, and people I think people get offended when you ask, are you pre-approved? Are you pre-approved? Are you pre-approved? We're not, and people think, well, you just want to know if I can buy a house or not. We're not asking because we need to know that I guess we are, but not for our benefit. It's for your benefit. So what you can afford and what we should be looking at.
What you're comfortable
What you're
with.
comfortable with. right off the bat. We could be looking at $250,000 houses. Come to find out, you need to be about 190, 210. That's a big difference in a house.
And if you're
Big
needing
difference.
closing costs, that's going to factor in too. If you need closing costs, that's going to factor in the amount of house that you're also looking for.
Well, that and the offer and all that kind of stuff. All right, so now we've got all of our steps. We've got our contract.
I
we
thought I
have
was
our
wrapping it up. Sorry,
inspections.
guys.
We are now headed to close. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, after the appraisal comes back in and we're clear to close, we'll get a clear to close from the lender saying, woohoo, we get to go to closing. Title search has already happened. Appraisal's already happened. Everything's good. I mean, we're going to move towards closing. And then the day that I always, if possible, I must always try to get you the keys the day that you sign your paperwork and you move in.
How
As soon
long
as you
does it
sign your
take?
paperwork, you own the place, so you should have the keys.
You should have the
Not
keys, but
necessarily.
not
Could
necessarily.
be
Sometimes we have
occupancy
Well,
temporary
yeah, yeah.
occupancies. The maybe the seller can't get everything moved out within a few days.
Recording.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into that part. We also negotiate sometimes occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, I lost my train.
choo choo.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, we go to closing.
Closing dates and stuff. So, those are important that we adhere to. So we need to make sure that not only, that's part of that contract, staying to that date, making sure everybody understands what that date is and how important that date is. And that's one of our main jobs, is to make sure that all of these other players are helping us maintain that date so we can hit that target date, that's what's in that contract. So, and
that date will change. That
almost
date, almost every deal, that
always
date will
the
change.
date will change. And a lot of times it's just certain things happen.
Or you
Life
can move up the
happens.
closing. Everything
Yeah.
going smooth. Everything. We've moved up many of closings because we're
I
just
think I'm
ready
fixing
to
to move
go.
up one right now.
That's good. And then sometimes you got to move them back because you're waiting things. How long did we move? How many times did we extend that one over from Marshall?
oh my gosh, a lot.
Probably 6
It was
months.
3 months.
Yeah.
I think it was only 3 months.
3 to 4 months, something like that. And so sometimes it just works.
Luckily,
that
the
way.
seller was very willing and understanding. There was some things that came up, and he was fully approved. We were ready to go and to go to closing, and then during title search, some stuff came up
Yep.
that was not known, and so here we're having to jump through more hoops. Oh my gosh, we spent hours. Me and Nathan both ringing lawyers' phone numbers. It goes on behind closed doors. We don't just open a door. We spend hours doing other stuff.
But let's give a little shout out to Title and Escrow of Lawrence County on that one. They pulled us through. Ben Wright over there, doing his magic as well. So give a little shout out over there.
I'll tell you what, we have a great team behind us. Another thing too is within our company, we do have a great team. We have Deanna Hoffman. She is my transaction coordinator. She is
Well, she's
my,
the office.
The office.
The office.
She is the
transaction.
office transaction coordinator now. She is my right hand. I couldn't do a lot of the things I do without her. My paperwork and stuff, she stays on top of it. She keeps me accountable just as well. She'll be like, hey, this listing agent didn't give me this paperwork. Or, hey, this buyer's agent didn't give me this paperwork. Can you reach out? I mean, she keeps up with my dates too. So not only, we just have a great way to make sure that we stay in contract. And a lot of other agents do not have that. And it shows.
So closing day, what happens? We have
You
finally
sign,
make
you
the day, and
sign about 1,000 papers. Come prepared.
if it's FHA rule development, VA, I mean your packet's pretty thick.
Yeah. VA, whew, those are probably even
It's a
more.
little smaller with us. We do hybrid closings. So there's half of their
Those are
stocks
good.
they
Those
can
are good.
electronically sign.
Nice.
Those are amazing, especially the VA buyers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have the most paperwork I've ever seen to sign.
THTA buyers.
Yeah.
Those are
Oh,
the worst.
Lee. I mean, just come prepared to sign. But it is exciting. It's a fun day.
No,
Sit
you
down
can't
with
use
a
an
good-
auto pen. No, you cannot use a stamp.
And it has to be blue ink, and you sign in person. You bring your ID title company will sit down with you and they will go page by page.
As an agent
through
on closing
everything.
day, yeah, it's an exciting day. But the biggest hurdle for a buyer's agent during closing days, as you're signing the paperwork, is just trying to stay awake.
The other thing is you may not be able to go to the title company because you live in Texas and you just bought a house
yeah.
here in Lawrenceburg. So our title companies are going to work with you and do something called a mail out closing. You don't have to come here. You don't have to be here, and they'll send the paperwork, go over the paperwork with you. They actually email it if you have email. They overnight it if you don't. And so we help.
Sometimes you have
arrange all
mobile
that.
notaries. I've had mobile notaries to go to your house and sit down with you and go over the paperwork. If you have a good mobile notary who
Or
can go through
Starbucks.
the paperwork, it's great.
Or the mall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
Right.
can go
Meet you
wherever.
there.
At work, I've had people to go to their jobs and sit down and go over the paperwork and let you sign. And then that mobile notary is going to take care of the paperwork and go make sure it's overnighted back. They put it all together. So we have lots of options.
We make those arrangements.
Yeah.
You know, we make sure that those. So that's something else that we do. So then finally, no occupancy agreement. We went to closing. The loan was funded, and papers signed, and keys are in hand to buyer. Now
Yep.
what?
Yes,
You
so
own
it's
a
time to
home.
celebrate. Yeah, go move.
Yeah, now you got to go back to now you got the physical work of moving all your stuff.
Or hiring it to have done. But anyway, that's just and I will say this, even though we have been very long today, that's a
Yeah.
quick overview of what we do as buyers agents and as buyers lenders. And there's still so much, like Nathan said, just in the contract alone, there's so many steps in
163.
negotiating. So there's a lot. And
The buyers are my favorite. I'll be honest. I love working with buyers. Probably I love listing too. It's a different beast, but I really probably like the buyers. I just get more connected very quickly and very close to a lot of my buyers. I've become very good friends with a lot of them. And still stay in contact with a lot of them. I have one that's up in Lafayette. I messaged them the other night. Hey, how's it going? I know y'all got hit by the ice storm real bad. Are y'all okay? She's like, finally the next day, she finally was able to message me back because they just got power back.
And how we get paid, here we are at closing. Typically, it's negotiated within the contract.
It's part of those 163 things.
Right. And so there's a couple different ways. The seller is going to compensate. The listing agency is going to compensate, or you, the buyer, is going to compensate. So those are things that we're going to talk about in the beginning, and then we're going to talk about it again during the offer period. Then we're going to talk about it again at the contract state. So just know that that we get paid when a property closes. All of these things and weeks of work that we put into months sometimes, and then we finally get paid. Monies and expenses and things that we've paid out to make things happen. All of that comes at the end. Then when it falls through and you change your mind and you're not going to move forward unable because of some kind of life-changing event,
Yeah.
you know, we're happy we got to meet you. We're happy we're helping you. And, you know, then we may never get paid because you can't buy for unknown reasons. So, there's just a lot of factors. But anyway,
And when that does happen, you know, it hurts. It does. But when I've had some people, they are my greatest fans and my greatest cheerleaders, and they refer me and everybody they know. And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
So if that is a big paycheck in itself, because you're still growing my business.
Doesn't hurt to send a gas card.
True.
I've
All
had
right,
people
any
give me
final
like
words?
like McDonald's gift cards. They were the sweetest things. I'm like, you're
You
just
hear that she's
great.
saying McDonald's now?
I know. I heard that.
I'm growing.
I know. I heard. Not Mac.
Right.
McDonald's. No.
I'm
Mick.
growing. I'm learning.
All right, Kyle, any final words on how a buyer's agent earns their paycheck?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
All right, he's
Work.
got numbers pulled up here. What you got going on?
All right, so I'm gonna be really quick. Market, it's like a 14-year-old, got a roller coaster of emotions, a lot of different things. We're not gonna go over all the things. We can do it next time. 2 things to watch out for in this coming week. Who's going to be replacing Fed chair? We've got 2 people in the running. Both of them are amazing opportunities for the Fed to take a different direction and understanding on the data. The other thing is Trump just came out and said Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was at $200 billion they could buy in mortgage-backed securities at $40 billion a month purchases. He now has recorrected and said the total can be $450 billion between the 2 of them. We are just waiting on more details on whether that max cap purchase is still at $40 billion per month that they can purchase in mortgage-backed securities. We talked about closing costs and things of that nature. Interest rates right now for conventional loan through THDA is 6.375. That's whether you use the $6,000 no repayment option or the up to 5% or $15,000 for the second plus to help cover down payment and closing cost. You are at 6.125 if you use Great Choice for FHA, VA, USDA. And any Homes for Heroes opportunities, you're at 5.625. And that also has all 3 options. No support, the $15,000 or up to 5% of the loan amount, and the $6,000 no repayment DPA.
Now, who falls in that Heroes one?
Heroes is going to be your first time, or your firefighters, police officers, nurses, first responders,
EMTs.
EMTs, teachers should fall under Heroes as well. All of these professions are, we've got a checklist. Just call and find out if that's something that you qualify for, and it's a very easy run through THDA or Tennessee Housing Development Association.
That's amazing.
It's typically those people who provide service, greatly needed service, who don't make a whole lot of money. As who these
Are social
loans
workers in that?
We will look into that. That's a very good question. Social working is it's a master's degree level
Yes.
job, so
That pays very
Very
little. Those are some great heroes right there. They are there in some great crisis and deal with a lot. I think a lot of social workers.
I couldn't do it. I'd be in jail. Sorry.
All right. Any
Yeah.
last thoughts, Holly?
No, I can't think of any right now. You've covered everything.
Everything.
I can't help.
that was thorough.
Very.
Great way to put it. I don't like when we half-ass. You know, I like it when we explain it because we just half do it, and then anyway. So if you don't want to watch, you don't want to watch. If you want to watch it in spells, you had enough, and then come back. It's on Facebook. You can keep watching.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right.
Lots of education. We just learned a lot.
Speaking of that, go ahead and hit that follow button or subscribe button, and
That helps
tune
us
in.
grow.
Are we on YouTube?
We're on Facebook, YouTube. Yep, Facebook
Okay.
and YouTube.
So find us on Facebook, subscribe, and you will get all
Subscribe and what was
Like
what was
and,
Bella?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
It was like Bella. She was so. I have videos of her when she was like 3 years old
Making YouTube videos.
YouTube videos.
Oh.
With
Like
the
and
toy.
subscribe.
She was so cute.
All right. Well, if you need a rental property, or if you need somebody to manage your rental property, give me a shout. My name is Nathan Cavins. My phone number is 931-345-2870.
If you are looking for a buyer's agent or a listing agent, let me know.
Now you're a listing agent
No,
again?
not buyer's agent.
Because if so, I got to order riders and stuff for
No.
you. Okay.
If you're looking for an agent, give me a call, 931-271-5790. Remember, we are located here in the same location, 1288 First Avenue, right behind McDonald's in historic Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
If you need to reach the office, you can call 931-762-4247. I am Holly Cavins. You can reach me if you're looking to buy or sell. You can call me anytime. You can reach me at 931-345-2406.
And my name is Kyle Parton. I'm with OVM Financial. If you need anything, just give me a call at 757-717-5800. 06.
Everybody say bye.